Welcome to Map Your Mind. Travel through the world with your brain. Today, we're entering a land where time runs deep, where the winds whisper in hieroglyphs, and where every grain of sand holds a story from the dawn of civilization. Welcome to Egypt, the cradle of time. Long before the world spoke of Rome, Persia, or Greece, Egypt had already carved its name into history. Here, along the ribbon of life known as the Nile River, one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever seen was born. By 3100 BCE, Upper and Lower Egypt were unified under one ruler Narmer, the first pharaoh. And so began a journey that would span thousands of years, with dynasties rising like the sun over the desert and fading like the stars at dawn. Egypt's gods were many: Ra, the sun god, Osiris, lord of the afterlife, and Isis, the healer. Religion wasn't just belief, it was law, order, and the rhythm of life. They built monuments not just for kings, but for eternity. The pyramids at Giza, colossal, precise, defiant of time, remain one of the last ancient wonders still standing. Each stone was a testament to human ambition, spiritual devotion, and the idea that death was merely the beginning of another journey. Pharaohs like Khufu, Ramses the Great, and Hatshepsut became legends. Their stories echo through temple walls, where carvings still dance in flickering torchlight. The Egyptians mastered medicine, astronomy, architecture, and the written word, using papyrus scrolls and the beautiful script of hieroglyphics. The age of foreign thrones. But empires rise, and even the greatest can fall. After centuries of glory, Egypt's power waned, opening the door to outsiders. First came the Assyrians, then the Persians. Then, in 330 BCE, a young conqueror from Macedonia wrote into history, Alexander the Great. Under his rule, Egypt became part of a vast Hellenistic world. The city of Alexandria rose from the Mediterranean shore, becoming a beacon of knowledge with its towering lighthouse and the legendary Library of Alexandria. After Alexander's death, his general Ptolemy took over. Thus began the Ptolemaic dynasty, Greek rulers with Egyptian hearts. And from that dynasty came a queen whose name still stirs imagination, Cleopatra. Brilliant, bold, and fluent in many tongues, Cleopatra was the last pharaoh of Egypt. Her romance and alliance with Rome's Julius Caesar, then Mark Antony, became the stuff of legend. But in 30 BCE, after defeat by Octavian, later Augustus Caesar, Cleopatra took her own life, and with her, Egypt fell into Roman hands. From empire to empire. For centuries, Egypt would be the Romans, the Byzantines. Then, in the 7th century CE, came the Arab conquest. With it came Islam, Arabic language, and a new chapter for Egypt. Cairo was founded and became a cultural and political jewel of the Islamic world. The Mamluks, slave soldiers turned rulers, defended Egypt from Mongols and Crusaders and built some of Cairo's most beautiful architecture. Then, in 1517, Egypt became part of the Ottoman Empire. Centuries passed, dynasties shifted, but Egypt's spirit endured, resilient as the Nile. The colonial era and the road to revolution. By the 19th century, Egypt was caught in a geopolitical tug-of-war. France under Napoleon invaded. Then came the British, who saw Egypt and especially the Suez Canal as vital to their empire. Though Egypt had a king, real power lay in British hands. The early 20th century was a time of awakening. Revolts, uprisings, and resistance movements stirred in the hearts of Egyptians. Then, in 1952, a group of young army officers led by Gamal Abdel Nasser swept away the monarchy. The Republic of Egypt was born. Nasser nationalized the Suez Canal, defied Western powers, and became a hero to much of the Arab world. Modern Egypt, pride, pain, and promise. The late 20th century brought wars, peace treaties, and a balancing act between tradition and modernity. Egypt fought Israel in multiple wars. But in 1979, under President Anwar Sadat, it became the first Arab country to sign a peace agreement with Israel. Sadat paid for peace with his life. Assassinated in 1981, Hosni Mubarak followed, ruling for nearly 3 decades before a wave of revolution swept the country in 2011. In Cairo's Tahrir Square, millions of Egyptians called for change during the Arab Spring. Since then, Egypt has continued to grapple with identity, democracy, stability, and economic growth. But always beneath the modern skyline and urban noise flows the memory of what Egypt once was, and what it can still become. Fun fact, the ancient Egyptians believed in over 1,000 deities. Every city had its own patron god or goddess, and festivals were often held in their honor, many involving music, dance, and feasting under the stars. So next time you hear the word Egypt, don't just think of pyramids and camels. Think of a civilization that stood taller than time, a land of endless rebirth, golden tombs, and voices etched into stone. A people who carried the weight of the stars, the wisdom of the Nile, and the dreams of eternity. This is Egypt. Stick around, there's a whole world to uncover. right here on your mind. Where to next?